Okay, Mr. Chair.
All right, let's get started then. So everyone, welcome to this meeting of the Mamaroneck Village Board of Architectural Review. I guess if you're not actively participating, please keep your microphones on mute so we
Okay,
don't
Mr. Chair.
random noises. I guess we'll start off with just a roll call. We'll do that. So we have myself, William Binzer, I'm the chair. And why don't you each introduce yourselves?
I'm Cindy Lee.
Okay.
I'm Yvonne Levin.
Andrew Wolowitz.
Okay, and we understand that Athena is tied up at a school meeting and will hopefully join us later as the meeting is in progress. But we do have a quorum. It's not the full board right now, so if anyone feels that that would prejudice their chances and would prefer to wait to see if Athena shows up or to a later date, just let us know that. Additionally, we welcome any interested parties, participation, questions, comments. I will try to remember to ask if there are any comments, but there's a good chance in this forum, I will not remember to do that. If I do, please don't hesitate to raise your hand and let us know that you would like to raise a question or comment. With that started, let's proceed. Now, Barbara, I've lost track of which minutes we can approve or not approve without a thing.
July ones now.
So we can approve the July ones, and that would be Cindy wasn't there, so that'd be Andrew, Yvonne, and myself approving it. Yes?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Is there any comments on those minutes?
I do have as a little clarification. In fact, something that I said that it didn't get right, transferred. I don't know if you have this printed. It's actually the one page, no, 2 pages from the last one. There's a part that says, I don't know if you can find it out. It says, Ms. Levin stated looking at this elevation, it seems a little monolithic. Did you find it?
I don't have the full version in front of me.
No? Okay, so nobody has it?
I can look at it. Hang on.
It's just a clarification because it looked funny what it says. It says, Ms. Levin state looking at this elevation, and we're talking about the project, the commercial, what is it? 526, 530 Fayette Avenue. And okay, I'm going to say it again.
These are the minutes for July, right? Okay, I've got them here. Give me a second.
Okay. Yeah.
And I'm looking to
The project.
Which one was it?
It's 526.
You know what number it is, just to save me.
Yeah, 520. Oh, it was the 8.
8 at the bottom. Okay.
Number 8.
Okay, mine only goes up to 7. Maybe I have the wrong minutes.
Really?
July 20th.
Okay.
This is July 20th.
Yes. July 20th.
But mine doesn't have an 8.
Yeah, let's see, I'm seeing where it says what you said something.
Ms. Levin, state looking at this elevation. It seems a little monolithic.
Oh,
Did you find that?
yeah, I'm looking. I see where it says that you asked about the.
Here it is, 8.
panels.
Okay, and
And then it says, could you do something like that? Use a little more of a kind of right there horizontal, just to break the volumes.
I'm looking for where you're.
So, okay. I just wanted to clarify that paragraph.
Looking at the elevation, it seems a little monolithic. And what would
Exactly.
what do you think you said?
And then it says, what I think I should say is, or I try to say is, could you break the volume similar to the opposite elevation? For some reason, the other elevation is more pleasant to me. So I would eliminate the rest, like,
Yeah, I guess it sort of doesn't make sense. Could you do something like that? Use a little more of a kind of write the horizontal there just to break the volume under the bed. Yeah, that does.
exactly.
that does-
Yeah, something got lost a little bit. So I just wanted to clarify that
Okay.
if we had to change it,
That, recorded, I assume, Barbara.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
her point was that she wanted to, the elevation monolithic, and she wanted to break it up. If you could
Right.
revisit that
Break
maybe, and if you could.
right. Okay, that's all I had.
Mhm.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Can we approve it subject to a subsequent approval of that?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, so we'll stipulate that that paragraph on that line on page, whatever it is, hard to tell exactly where it is.
Yeah.
It's number 8. Yeah.
The paragraphs aren't.
Yes, 8.
Mm,
It's under 8, and you go, it's the second page. Let me see, 8. No, 2 pages after that. Oh, wow. No, it's very long. 8. You have 8 at the bottom. Then it's 1 page, 2, 3, the 4th, the second paragraph.
Okay,
Okay?
Okay.
all right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so can we,
Mr. Chair, just for the record and clarity, who seconded the motion?
nobody's even made a first of it yet, I don't think.
I motion to approve.
Okay.
I second.
Okay. And if you'll just circulate that to the three of us then when you can, Barbara.
Okay,
Okey doke, thanks, Yvonne. All right,
Thank you.
all right then. All right, so we have to wait till Athena comes to proceed with the other minutes. So let's, in the interim then, starting with the old business. And the first item up is 877 Orienta Avenue. Arnold Weil, I believe, is presenter here. Are you there, Mr. Weil?
Yes, Mr. Weil, unmute yourself.
Hello?
Hello,
Hi. Good evening.
good evening.
I think I can bring up an elevation. I'm Arnold Weil. I'm Mr. and Mrs. Rosen's architect for 877 Orienta Avenue. And essentially what we're doing is building a small addition between 2 existing second floors.
Mhm.
Can you see that?
Oh, we
Not
don't
yet.
see- Not yet, no.
I brought that up on my screen.
Yeah, did you share screen?
I did before. Let me try it again.
It's down sort of in the middle at the bottom.
Okay. Okay. Let me try again. Can you see it now?
No.
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 Okay, let me try again.
There we go.
Your screen is on.
Okay.
Your picture.
Can
There
you
you
see
go.
the front elevation now?
We're good, yes.
Yes.
Oh, terrific. Okay. Well, this area is the addition on the front of the house. This is actually the only place it can really be seen because there's in the back there's no view from any house or any road. But this is the part that we're building, and this is the existing second floor, and this is the existing second floor, and there's no way to get from this second floor to that second floor, so we're building this to connect the two. And when I was here last time, I did not have side elevations. I'm sorry. I'm going to bring up a can you see the back elevation?
Yeah,
Yes.
Okay, so this part is what we're adding between the existing second floor here and the existing second floor here.
Mhm.
And I have, this is a side elevation from the right side of the house. And you can see this new roof. And this is the side from the left side, and this is the new roof. And that's all we're doing.
right. So I think we were right that we didn't fully understand the roof before, because there was the impression that the roof of the addition was going to actually be just a continuation of the main house roof.
Yeah, I'm really
But-
sorry I didn't have side elevations.
But that's okay. But now it's very clear. So, I mean, I think that's good for everyone, for yourself and the
Mhm.
client and us. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
That said, can you go back to the front elevation, please?
Yes.
Because that's the one, for our purposes that we would, most people would see.
Yeah,
I think we could just focus on that. Okay, and I think we're all, with the exception of Cindy, we've all seen this before. We just couldn't figure out how the roofs work.
Mhm.
And that has been helped. Still don't have a roof plan, but I think we can kind of figure it out.
totally.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, and Cindy, I don't know if you have any questions about it.
Well, I don't. Bill, you suggested that I take a look at the house so that it would be clear. That was a long time ago. I did, so I totally understand.
Yeah.
And I'm clear now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Does anyone from the board have any further comments or questions on it?
No,
Assuming that
Yeah.
all of the finishes on that new section, of course, will marry up and be compatible, be the same as the other two.
of course, everything will match exactly.
Yeah, okay.
I would
Okay.
mention it's sort of a shame that the middle section isn't lower than the right section, which I thought would be nice, but I understand that's not possible, but it's too bad. And so,
Well, the other comment, the only just comment is I understand and I see why the slope is different.
Mhm.
So it doesn't have the same slope as the main roof,
Yes,
but just because you needed to go a little further out to line up with the existing facade at the rear. So you had to change that's the only thing that it's just a little
yeah, it's a little fuzzy.
strange.
There's a
Yeah.
lot going on. It's it's not elegant, but I guess that's the way it is when you're trying to infill between two pieces that don't go together in the first place, perhaps.
Right. Yeah, because if he tried to keep the same slope, you would have had an area that would have been flat roof in order to accommodate that. So I do understand.
Okay.
I mean, and from the front, it all
Yeah.
matches up,
It looks fine.
It's got like that cascading feeling going off to the right, which
Yeah.
which I think is fine, and
Yeah. No, I think it will look good.
I think it looks good.
Okay. Are there any, if there's no further board comments, are there any interested parties in the audience, Cliff or Will?
If anyone's interested from the public that wishes to speak, please raise your hand in the chat room.
It seems like there is not.
No.
Okay.
And I don't see anyone.
Okay, if there be no further comments or objections from the board, no comments from the audience, could I have a motion to accept?
I motion to accept.
Okay,
I second.
okay.
I second.
Any opposed? All right, you're good to go, Mr. Well.
Thank you very much and good night.
And
Thank you.
You
Back
too.
to us with the new and improved.
Appreciate all your help. This is a first for me.
Yes, Mr. Well, I'm sorry that we had to delay you because of the hurricane too, because I
I
Oh,
know.
I know.
I appreciate everything that you do. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Okay, so next up then is the Fayette Avenue, 526, 530 Fayette Avenue. Greg DeAngelis, I guess, is the applicant representative here. Are you there, Greg?
Give me a second. Give me a second. I'm bringing him in. Give me a second. All right. Okay, Greg.
Mute and turn video on.
There he is.
Hi, Greg.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
Good evening.
Greg, before you begin, is there anyone else from your team that's participating tonight?
I believe Greg Masson was in the waiting room also.
All right, let me bring him in.
Sorry, who is that? Is that the owner?
Yes,
Okay, yeah, he was here last time.
yes, he was. Yeah.
Okay.
here we go. Greg, you're on mute. Maybe you want to leave it that way, whatever, but okay, he's in.
Are you wearing an ascot there, or is that like a
Oh,
mask?
that's my, yeah, it's our new world now,
I
right?
like
Very stylish.
So if you want, I'll jump right in and pull
Sure.
up the drawings.
Okay.
Share
Yeah.
the screen. I can let's see if I can do this. Oh, I need someone to enable. There's Greg. I need someone to
Ah.
enable.
Okay, I just did.
I'll try again. Screen is here. Oh, share. Okay. And we go here. Okay. All right. So we submitted some revised drawings. We made some revisions after our last meeting. Starting with, we looked at the colors of the CMU, and, it's hard. It is difficult on these renderings to accurately depict some of the colors, but there is some more.
Pardon me, Greg.
Yes, can you hear me?
Since Cindy wasn't here last week, don't do the whole presentation, but just kind of enough to catch her up. And Cindy, we basically were fine with everything, the building, the massing and everything. We just asked if they could look at ways to better articulate the pedestrian level and make it maybe a little bit more friendly to people. But I'll let Greg talk, but.
Okay.
Now it just turned white. Give it a second to recharge here, I guess.
Oh.
You know what I'm gonna do? We have a new camera. I wonder if that's overloading. I'm just gonna. I don't want to lose it. I don't know what happened to this. Let's see.
There are a lot of tabs open.
Start drawing. Let's just try again.
Yeah,
What happened?
yeah.
Just those are the elevations, and there's our product. Come on.
I
It was
know.
there a minute ago, wasn't it?
Yes, yeah, we saw it.
World of Zoom, right?
Yeah. Let me just see.
I see down at the bottom, it says 1 of 3. I don't know if that means anything.
Yeah, no, there's three renderings. Let me try to reload this thing. Close it.
It was there before.
Yeah. Oh, come on now. Sorry, folks. I thought I had it all set up for us here.
Yeah,
It
well, I guess,
happens.
I'm sorry, I threw a spanner in the works by asking you to summarize it. scared it off.
That shouldn't have been a problem, though. Oh, yeah, let's go. Presentation and renderings.
Working on it. Renderings.
Wow. That's what you call technical difficulties. I don't know what happened to them.
I know.
Is this the rendering that we received on 7/29 that we're going to be looking at?
Yes, it is.
I
Mhm.
mean, I'm looking at it on my phone.
I mean, maybe I can share it from Dropbox.
There it is.
Oh,
Yeah,
there,
that-
there.
Well,
Well,
this
that's
this
that.
is the old one.
This is the old one.
Oh,
Yeah.
If you remember, and we made some changes to the board, we added some bands here, we adjusted the colors a little bit. And on the, let's see if it's the same thing.
is it the one with the two cherry trees in front? Kind of.
Yes, yes.
You
Right,
added,
and the little boy on the bicycle, I mean, I'm looking at it on my phone, just because
you want one of us to try to share it, Greg?
Sure, Bill, I guess.
You
Yeah.
want to do it, Andrew? You want me to do it?
Yeah, let me see if I can, 1 second, let me,
If you want, I can show it quickly in the elevations and then we can pull up the 3D images. How about that? Someone else can do that.
Okay.
sure.
Yeah, let's-
I mean,
since it's here.
we spent our time rendering the 3D views. And there was a third one that we added in, but basically this, actually, let me pull up. As you come down, sorry, come on. As you come down Fayette, this is the side view of the building. The rendering
Mhm.
shows the corner, which you mostly see this.
Mhm.
But what we added, we added some banding along, in the base to animate it more. Again, this is in a flood zone. We have to have all our mechanicals on this level, as well as the
Mhm.
elevator and egress and corridors. So there's not much space. Masons would have loved to have space for retail. At one point we talked about it, but with all the flood zone requirements, everything had to be pulled up. But we added the bands after our discussion last time. And we also added in more of this, wood grain, simulated wood grain panels as infill. And it adds more color. You
Yeah.
see it from the rendering.
right,
And then the front, the frontage on Fayette, where this is Ogden over on this side to the right. Same thing, the bands are here. Otherwise, we did not change it at all. And then wrapping around on the side facing Ogden, we added the bands in. And I think in color, it really shows it much better in the renderings. And before we had more windows up high, and this is much more blank, we added this zone in here, so it's similar to the other kind of, square rectangular zones. This is a stair, so the windows kind of, go back and forth like you would with a stair. And that's basically the changes we made in addition to trying to adjust the colors.
Mhm.
Well, sorry, one more
Can
time.
I share my screen a second?
Yes, please. Yep. Thank you.
Oh. I need to,
Do I need to stop sharing?
yeah, you need to stop sharing.
Okay, I've done that.
Okay.
Okay.
Everyone see it now?
Yeah.
yes.
Yep. And there's two more renderings here. This is one that we added after talking with William. Just thought it'd be helpful for people to see.
Well, I only see two that were in our Dropbox, but I mean, I think I can go to the other one too, but there's
I
this
think
one.
one came later,
I see.
Yeah, this is the one that came later.
This one, yeah.
But
Mhm.
it tells the story.
Yeah.
So I think just speaking for myself, I think you have, broken up the monolithic character a bit, and that's good. I would, and I'm wondering to what extent it's the rendering, but on this rendering, there's not that much differentiation between the brick or tile material on the lower floor and above, the color's sort of the same. That might be a rendering thing. I don't know.
Well, that's part of the challenge. You know, it doesn't show the difference in textures, which will also,
Yeah.
you know, block, even though we
Mhm.
try to put some texture in to block it, it's not, you know, it has a variety of aggregate in it, whereas the panels are much more even in coloration.
Yeah.
And it does have more color. I'm looking at it here, and
I think you had a little picture of the two materials somewhere.
we did. It was submitted with the product information, so it gives you some idea.
All right,
Yeah.
wait a minute, 1 second.
Yeah.
Product information.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
so you
kind
can
of
see the band.
reddish,
I like it.
polished face.
Greg, these windows here
Okay.
were not there before?
No, those windows were all there. The four that you're pointing at, we didn't have the wood grain to the left of that, to the left of the elevator tower stair. Well,
Mhm.
right there. That we
Right.
didn't have the wood grain paneling in there.
Mhm.
And we also didn't have it to the left of that, the band, and then also to the second floor windows above the garage. We didn't have it there. So that just added, I think it
Yeah,
adds
I
a little bit more variety. There's kind of
Mhm.
a second level of pattern happening within the geometry too, which we kind
Yeah.
of like. And then
Yeah.
the bands, and again, it looks different even from this screen to our screen to our the colors have a little more reddish in them in the block. But again, it's trying to be somewhat of an understated building. It's not like what we did on 690 Mamaroneck Avenue, Grand Street Lofts, where the owner wanted a real pop of color. This is a more understated. They have a wonderful construction firm, and they do good solid work, and it's just, you know, they just want to make it their new home, and for the second generation, as we talked about last time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, and like we said last time, we appreciate all that. Well, it's just we thought perhaps with some, you know, superficial kind of gestures, it could be made to be a little bit more pedestrian friendly. But we certainly appreciate the commitment and
Yeah.
you know,
They're
effort to build
anxious
a
to
nice
get
building here.
construction started.
you were-
We'll have some
I'm
time.
not opposed to it in any way. We just thought maybe there's a couple steps could make it even nicer. Why don't you go back to having Greg share, and he could bring up the
Yep.
pictures of the materials that I know you have.
Sure.
I know you can't touch them, but you see the color.
We'll do our best.
Yeah, there you go. So they look much
So-
different there.
Yes,
Yeah.
and in this, I also have the, oh, there we go here.
So that's the stripes and the
You know, I think you know what it is? Yeah, those are the two stripes. You know, we added a new camera to this computer. I think it's taking too much of the graphics.
and everything else is white. So it's sort of like Bauhaus.
Yeah, it's very white, a lot of white here.
You like the Bauhaus, Bill, right? Well,
Yeah,
I
I
hope-
don't think we saw the wood panels. I didn't,
Yeah, I'm gonna
well,
see if
I
I
don't
can
know if
get
they were
that.
submitted.
But this is the
Yeah.
stripes and is the red color there, the stripes, and the tan color,
Yes. And again, this is the old one where the red was a little bit more of a darker brown. So we got a little more life in it, little more red. But
I'm trying to understand, there's three operative, forgetting about the wood just for this a moment, there's
Right.
three kind of main other colors, right? There's the tile kind of color on the upper floors. Then there's the grid-like, brick-like pattern on the lower floor and then the stripes. So
Mhm.
they're looking here, so you've got the bricks kind of pattern on the ground floor with the stripes, so that's two materials.
right,
And then you've got the panels up above. So I was just kind of
Panels.
interested to see what those three things were. I know what the wood looks like.
right. So we didn't, you know, and there's some relationships between the colors, but and in contrast in the textures as well. But
Yeah.
Well, I think it looks good. I mean, you did, I
Yeah.
appreciate the effort of
Yeah,
articulating that facade a little bit more. And yeah, I think it works. Looks pretty nice to me.
I hope the landscaping really will come to fruition. It looks very pretty too.
Yes, no, we're excited about it. It's, it's limited opportunities in the industrial area, but a couple of new cherry trees and they will get a lot of sun, so they should grow quite well.
Yeah.
There's some older trees in the back, which are, on the adjacent properties. And then here where there's a screen wall, there's opportunity for some kind of low, like vertical growing plants.
Right.
Where the screen is between the employee parking and the visitor parking. And then we have some of the foundation plantings, and we had a couple varieties there.
Very nice.
It does
And the
look
green
nice.
roof.
And a green roof, yes,
Oh.
which you don't see from the street, but it helps
No,
with
yeah.
irrigation and retention.
That's
And,
wonderful.
Yeah.
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 They had extra structure to put that in too. It's
Yeah, I bet.
it's a 6-inch deep green roof in this case, not only 2. So it's really serving a
Wow.
purpose to help with the soil retention, the water retention during storms.
Uh-huh. Yeah, that's great.
The one thing I'm sorry we can't see is I still wish I could see those materials.
Mm-hmm.
But I was trying to look on my own thing, but I don't know which folder.
It's hard to see them, right?
Yeah, I could.
Are they in the drawings folder?
What's that, Bill?
I was looking to see the materials, the picture.
Right. Yeah,
You couldn't bring it, so I was looking in my own folder, but I have this, there's a number of things.
was it Andrew that brought up? I think it was in the Dropbox. I have another thing I could do, but I'm afraid I'm going to lose the connection if I pull out the plug. So I think that would be worse.
Yeah.
All right. I think that they are in revised documents from 7/28. I don't know what, I mean,
Yeah,
that's where they
Yeah.
are for me on my phone. 7/28 revised documents. They're the third PDF. And that will show us the finishes.
Yeah, the block, and then there's a photo of the those panels.
Mine are not in that order. I have, that's old. Okay, I see what the problem is here.
There is a photo of Long John Silver's here.
Yes,
That
Long
shows
John
the
Silver.
blue. Right. And the idea, Greg, is to use the panels a different color and the whiter ones. And then the one that looks like wood, it's
Yeah.
a wood color. That's what maybe Bill is trying to find,
Yes, and
right?
it has some different texture to it too.
Yeah.
So
Okay. I think it looks good.
I like that wood paneling
Yeah.
on Long John Silver. Is it the same color, kind of?
yes, I think that actually was. That's
Mm-hmm. Hey, Bill, do you want me to forward this to you quickly?
I don't know. I see everything. I just can't find the one that has the actual.
Finish
Oh, I
it.
found them. Yay. Long John Silver's. Okay.
Yeah, you
Got
got
it.
it.
Okay, so we got 3 things here. So there's the Westbrook block polished face brown. And Greg,
Yep.
which is that then?
that's the banding.
That's the banding.
That's the darker, right? Banding.
I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah. Kind of reddish.
Well, then there's 2 brown ones. One's brown 111 and one's brown 81.
Mm-hmm.
So
So the
that's the lower level and the banding?
The 81 is the typical, which is lighter, and the 111 is the darker. and
Okay.
banding.
Yeah. The band at the
Yeah,
bottom,
And now I'm
right?
looking for a picture of what goes on the upper level. Is that here?
It's in the same package. If you scroll down.
I see Long John Silver's is the wood. Then there's a garage door. Then there's the green roof.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's another green roof. Then there's a deck.
The
And
pavers.
over pavers. And that's it.
You know what it was? We actually, that was in the prior package. We did not resubmit it.
Oh, okay, so that's in the prior, that's okay, that's okay.
Yeah,
We have the prior package too.
Okay.
I know, I think that's the issue because we had the storm, we've had meetings and
Yeah.
there's a lot
Yeah.
of packages to scroll through.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. So now I've got the same, this says old, but it's the same pictures.
Yeah.
Well, we had a lot more of the block. We edited that out because we didn't see that. We tried to just focus on what the changes were with the resubmission.
Yeah, I understand. I was looking at what I thought was the old submission, but it wasn't the old submission. So I don't know. That makes sense. I just, I was just trying to see the differentiation and a little frustrated that I'm unable to, but is the top then lighter, darker? It's hard to tell from the.
You mean the block or the panels?
Well, on the bottom, you've got 2 shades of brown, and then you've got these bigger panels up above, not the wood.
Yeah, so on the second and third floors, those are the Nichiha panels, and they're 6 feet by 18 feet. They're large panels, and they clip on. They're rain screen, and the wood grain, simulated wood grain, is the same material. It just has a different color to it.
Yeah, well, I guess that color, I was just trying to figure out what that color was.
That was what was on the Long John Silver.
Well, I thought that was the
Yeah.
wood.
That's the wood. Oh, the gray. Yeah,
It's
that was
gray.
the-
Those panels are gray.
It's a gray color. Yes.
Okay.
Here, I have a.
Well,
I see that and
I see it on the-
7-9.
I can't bring
Email.
real samples to the meeting, but it's.
Oh, there you go.
Let's see if I can get into the camera here.
There you go.
Oh, that's the gray. I guess.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Oh,
got it?
okay.
Sure.
Let me get back to
Great.
you.
Yeah.
So,
Sure.
Oh, okay.
so it's very flat. Like with in the block, you get more texture in the block.
Okay.
Right.
You're right. The rendering doesn't really differentiate them much.
And even here, this is on the fluorescent light. It's going to be in daylight. We'll get samples when we're ready to go and just confirm
Yeah.
the coloring. But that's this is what we want to go with. So,
All right. Well, that's helpful. I'm glad you could.
okay. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Sorry to.
You're welcome.
I just
No.
trying to visualize it more.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, I think we've been beating this horse long enough.
I'll make a motion.
Well,
Making a motion.
I'm gonna
we have to
second
see if there's any interested.
Yes,
participants.
all right, Craig.
Okay.
Yeah, so just really quick, if there's anyone from the public who wishes to speak, just raise your hand. And Greg, just a quick question: Did you make any changes to the rear elevation?
To the real, no, that's along the lot line. We do extend the banding around, but that's along the lot line. So that's what we did on the masonry and lower level. We do not have windows on that side because it's right on the property line.
It depends. Which are you calling the rear elevation?
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
assuming because Will and I had a conversation the other day. You mean the back of the garages, right?
The back, the side that you see from Ogden
Yeah.
looking on.
Yeah, that's a different back than there's 2 backs.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It's a corner lot.
Yeah, well, fair enough. That's what I was considering the rear elevation. But so, did you make any changes? Just describe what you did if you made any changes. Especially to the upper levels because that's sitting up. It's high. It's the tallest building. In the vicinity. That's
Right.
all.
No, we did not make
I
any
think you
changes.
mean the Ogden
to that.
Street elevation, is that correct?
No, I think.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, you're talking about the Ogden Street. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's what he means.
So that, again, if you share the screen, I can pull it up again, just at least on the elevation.
I mean, I think the two,
This elevation here you're talking about. This is the Ogden.
No, the
Square.
elevation on the right side of this elevation that you're showing.
Okay, so that would be.
Of the lower volume.
elevation.
I
This
see
back
that in the
This.
rendering.
Yeah, and you see it in the rendering, right? This-
Yeah,
Yeah, so
Yeah,
we brought the,
it's
well,
visible.
once the masons there, they'll bring the block around the coursing. But otherwise, up here is where it's recessed. It's stepped back, so that relieves the elevation some massing wise. And then this is a walkout terrace up here. But this is all, there's no windows here because it's a property line. And you never know what someone might do in the future, building up to the, from the other property.
mhm,
Okay,
okay, okay.
So that, that's the terrace over there. Yeah.
Okay.
Will, did you ask that question because there's a question in the chat room?
Oh, no, I asked that question, just because if you go back to the elevation, it's it's the tallest structure and it
Uh-huh.
still gives the impression of a blank wall. But again, that's just me asking a question. I didn't see anyone. Give me a second.
I think
The
there's a
question
question in the chat room, maybe.
Logging out.
I didn't see anybody. Let me go back to the chat room. Let's see if there's anybody in the chat room.
Cliff saying he's leaving.
Yeah, I didn't see anybody in the chat. No one in the chat room raised their hand, so there are no comments.
All right.
Okay, so are there any further comments from the board? Question? Okay.
No. It's
there
fine.
being no further comments or questions then? Could I get a motion?
I said I
I
motion.
motion. Yep,
Either way, either way.
you do it, Andrew.
Okay, for Barbara's benefit, one of you decide who's first and who's second.
Yvonne's first and I'm second.
All right. And any opposed?
Okay,
Okay, well, thank you, Greg, for,
Thank you all very much. Really appreciate
thank you.
it. Have a good evening.
you too.
Thank you.
You too.
Bye-bye, and thank
Bye.
you for this nice building, Mr. Masoni.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. You're going to be the anchor for that whole community.
There
yeah,
you go.
Okay.
it's good. Thank you.
Okay, so next up is 355 Phillips Park Road. I guess that's.
Yeah, bring them in now, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Hi, guys. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
I don't know if my video is not working, but that's okay. Yes. Anyway, Bob Stanzia, we're back again, I guess, with 355 Phillips Park Road. You had seen this building previously, but
Mhm.
we had evidently, according to the planning board, gone before you prior to their declaration of the environmental impact, no environmental impact statement. So they wanted us to get a reapproval on the building itself. There are no changes to what we had presented initially. I don't know if everybody was here the last time, but this is a two-story addition over an existing one-story commercial building for residential apartments.
Okay, well, let me ask Robert before you continue, is everybody who is here now, were they here for the original presentation, or is this new to anyone?
Yes, for me.
I was here.
Everyone was here?
Yeah, I think all five of us were here at that time.
Okay, so in that case,
Yeah.
I think if I could just shortcut this a bit, it seems to me that if we all approved it and if absolutely nothing has changed,
Yeah.
Nothing's changed.
I'm not sure that there's much to talk about. But
Exactly.
if you can verify and confirm that nothing's changed, Robert, then I think.
Nothing has changed at all. No.
We can just
Everything's
reconfirm.
same as we presented the last time. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
All But that presupposes that there are no other parties that want to weigh in at this point. So I'll ask our Mr. Village Planner if there's anybody out there who wants to ask.
If there's anyone, raise your hand. Mr. Chair, I don't see anyone.
Okay. In that case, are there any further questions or comments from the board?
No.
Yep.
All right. Then could I have a motion to reconfirm our prior approval, I guess?
I motion.
And second someone, and any opposed?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Well, nice to see you again, Robert.
Thank you very much for getting there.
And if
Thank you.
maybe we'll see you again if you have.
We don't know.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay.
All right, you will. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Now we're on to new business.
No business.
The first applicant being 1529 Rose Lane, Gus Caparelli, I suppose.
Mr. Einhorn? Einhorn?
You're in, okay.
Yeah, Mr. Einhorn?
Yes, I'm here.
Mr. Einhorn, you have a feedback, a vibration thing going on there. It's kind of cool, but it's hard to hear you.
I know.
It's usually both the phone and the computer.
Yeah, you might have both the phone and the computer on, so it's echoing.
No, we have nothing. So just turn one of them on.
I had to unmute.
Oh, he's muted.
Hi, this is Gus. Just waiting for Bill to join back in.
Okay, we're good now.
Experiences.
So Gus, you're the owner and Bill's the architect, is that?
Chief architect, yes. And we found out that we needed architectural review sort of later in the process, but we got it already.
No. I don't understand that, but
I see Bill. Let's see. This is him.
You guys got me? Hello?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So my name's Bill Einhorn. I'm the landscape architect for Gustavo and Hope Caparelli. I do have the presentation up if you wanted to switch over so I could show you what we're thinking.
Yes, please. You can share your screen.
Okay. So basically what we want to do is add a small pool in the on the side yard area with a terrace around it. And the only architectural change to the building would be moving the existing wood stairs from the center over to the side area. There's existing screening along Rose Lane and West Street, and we would add some additional screening on the corner of Rose Lane and in between Mr. Caparelli and his neighbor. This is the existing front elevation and the proposed elevation, just showing that the steps are moved from here over to here. This is the existing front elevation now, and basically stays exactly the way it is. This is the view to the area. The pool will be inside that, so there's plenty of screening from Rose Lane and West Lane, as you can see. This is where the existing stairs are now, and they're just going to be shifted over to the left over here. This is the existing screening where the pool equipment is going to go. And this is the neighbor's house, and this is where our proposed screening will be on this side.
Can you just scroll up a little bit? Go up to that picture of the neighbor's house and just go, okay, I just wanted to see what he had in the way of windows there. Okay, thanks.
And if I could zoom in a little bit. So this is the proposed screening in between that would go over here, which we'll see in a rendering. This just shows the pool equipment and details on the walls. This is a rendering showing the view out from the new stairs out towards West Street with all the existing screening. And this is the existing view from, and the proposed view from West Street. And again, the proposed view of the terrace area and the proposed screening to the neighbor. This is the paver that we'd like to use around the terrace. It's a gray plank paver. And we would like to use a West Hill granite coping around the pool, which would match this. And a basic gray rodeo pool tile. And a diamond bright blue finish for the plaster. And a fairly simple aluminum fence for our pool code fencing around the area. And this just shows details on what our equipment pad would look like. And that's what I got for you.
Okay. Perhaps go back to the site plan. Okay. Do any board members have any comments, questions?
I have one question. Well, question. First, a comment. I think looks very nice. I like the paving and the pool. The only question is, this is more code related question, is the coverage factor in this zoning area, which is R5. And I think it says it's about 35% coverage. And how are you doing with that?
Yeah, we've been through engineers, and we've done all our calculations, and everything is in compliance.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
What is, so just for clarity, what is the actual number? What's the actual percentage of impervious surface?
I do not have that.
Yeah, I had this question myself, and I'd asked Barbara. Barbara, I think, said that the assistant building inspector had reviewed it and was okay with it, but it does visually look like a lot of coverage of impervious surface. So it begs the question of how much of it is there.
Yeah, that's the only question I have.
Again,
too,
we ran it through our engineers and our architect, and it's in the submission, and from initial feedback from your engineer and your building inspector, they said everything was in compliance.
The other thing is on the plans I had that we received, I couldn't read the writing. It was a little faint for me, so I wasn't sure there either. Okay. Well, I mean, maybe,
I have a question. The screening between the pool and the neighbor, how, I mean, obviously it's stuff that's going to grow, but you're going to install it at what type of height?
9 to 10 feet.
Mhm. Yeah, 'cause it looks like, I mean, obviously it's not going to be so tall as to block all the neighbor's view into your pool, but it looks like the neighbor can just look straight down into your pool, like a vertical view, but.
Yeah, there's not much.
bring it from the yard, that's it.
Let me just.
Because they're very close.
More screens the neighbor from you than vice versa.
Just. Yeah, I mean, from their upper bedrooms, it would be pretty much impossible to put in a 30-foot tree to start with.
But it screens the yard.
Yeah.
That's what it does.
Well, it might be a nice thing for them to look at, from their,
Okay, back to the site plan. Could you just trace around where the fence is, just real quick?
Sure. So the fence ties into the corner of the right here, goes across. It goes in front of the screening plants.
Mm-hmm.
It goes in front of the existing screening plants. Goes across and then ties back into the corner of the porch.
Okay.
Right into here.
okay.
Okay. Well, I guess, you know what, I guess I would like to see, just so we have it for the record, I think we can approve it, or, I mean, subject to people approving it, but I think we can vote on it anyway. But I think I would like to see if you could get to us the calculations of the coverage. I'd at least like to kind of get that, into the record, as it were, just to make sure that it is compliant.
Right.
So we can, we can move on it, and subject to you providing that data to us.
Sure.
Okay. Are there any further comments or questions from the board?
Yeah, I do have one question about this particular view, which is, I'm going to assume that behind the house and to the right of the house, that is green, that is
Correct. This is all lawn over in here.
Right, and along the side.
Here, yes.
Yeah, so you just chose to only color in around where the pool is.
Yeah, our kind of area that we were working.
Right, I understand. Okay, just because that certainly is visually, it makes it look like there's even more impervious surface.
Yeah.
You've got the house, the driveway, and the patio and the pool.
Right. Correct.
And the walk, I suppose.
Mhm.
Did we ask about neighbors? Are there any neighbors here?
William?
If anyone from the public wishes to speak, please raise your hand. And I don't see anyone.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any further questions or comments from the board then?
No, I just wanted to go back to one of the sketches that sees the whole, looks at one of the renderings that looks at the whole pool. I just missed the fence. I think I just wanted to look at it. I don't know if it was included or not.
If you could share my screen again.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it. For some reason, I don't know why I don't see them here.
He showed it very briefly, but he's going to bring it back up, I think, if he can.
Okay. Yeah. Elevations. See it.
Yeah, if, can you see my screen now?
No, no.
No, you have the
Yeah.
permission.
Um,
There you go. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I see.
You had a
Yeah.
picture, you had an
Yeah.
actual picture of it too at somewhere.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, great. Thank you. No, that's,
No
I
problem.
just wanted to see that.
A nice materials.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, no, I think it looks very nice.
Okay, any other board questions or comments?
I
Okay,
think it looks nice.
No?
very good. Okay, so there being no further question or comments from the board and no, or from the audience, could I
I
have,
motion.
and,
I second.
okay, any opposed? All right.
Yep.
You're good, subject, with the condition that you will follow up and,
Right.
and Barbara, the calculations of coverage in impervious areas.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the first things that we explored before we even started this whole thing.
Yeah, it looks visually questionable. I just don't want it coming up later that we didn't look at it.
Right.
Didn't think about it.
Yeah.
So if that would be great. Okay.
Sure.
Right.
Okay. Thank you. And did we vote? Yeah, we
We
did.
voted.
We did.
yes.
Voted,
We
yes,
did.
okay. So you're good. Thank
Great.
you. With
Thank you very much.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so next up is 130 Wagner Avenue. Hasselman.
Please raise your hand if you are, if you're associated with this application.
Looks like the name is Castleman Solar, but perhaps it's an individual's name up there. Scott Stevens.
Yes.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hi.
Hello.
Okay. You go now.
Oh, okay. Sorry. My name is Scott Stevens. I'm here from Castleman Solar. I am representing our customer and property owner, Arvin Casso. The Casso residents, they are looking to install a 9.66 kilowatt solar array on their roof, consisting of 28 solar panels. The application, I believe, which you all have, the array will be located on the front and the rear roof. The fortunate thing about this is their roof is at such a low tilt. It's at 21 degrees and it's kind of set up high. So kind of the visual impact from what we assessed doesn't appear to be too bad in the front, is what I'm saying. Do you want me to share my screen at all with you, or?
If you could
Yeah,
share the screen,
please.
and show a picture of the house. I think that pretty much explains the comment you just made. If you're able to do that.
And
Yes.
and the neighboring houses.
Yep. I'll have all the photos going. So here's the property located in the village, 130 Wagner Avenue. This is Wagner Avenue. This is the topographic map. The layout of the array, kind of our site plan. And on top of that, we have photos of our previous systems, just to give you kind of a visual of what what it looks like. Try to keep things pretty aesthetically pleasing. Now we get to 130 Wagner. This is the front view, along with a rendition of the panels on the front. As you can kind of see up at the ridge, you know, you're not really getting a good view of the roof from the street. This is the rear view of 130 Wagner Avenue, showing the location of the solar panels. The front side view of 130 Wagner Avenue. I did remove the tree just so you guys could kind of see, you know, what it kind of looks like beyond or behind that tree. The front side view of 138 Wagner Avenue, west facing. Another rear side of 130 Wagner from the kind of facing, I believe it's facing north on that one. And this is the aerial view along with a rendition of it showing the panels. These are the neighbors, 129 Wagner Avenue. I believe they're right across the street. 124, 134, and 125. There was one home I was unable to get photos of because of the trees in the front. I recall it being, I believe it was this home here with that tree in the front. And here's an aerial view of 30 Wagner. The solar panels we use are LG 370s for these. They are no glare, and they are black on black, so they kind of blend in really nicely, you know, on the roof plane. Are there any questions or any photo things you want me to go back to?
Is the roof, what color is the roof?
The roof is a, gosh, I'd have to find a photo of it. Yeah, I'd have to pick up a photo, but I think it's like a lighter gray. I believe I have any of the roof itself from the aerial of it. From what we gathered from
Good to see it
the
there.
resources we had.
Right.
Greenish.
Well, yeah, it looks like I mean, the whole roof basically is going to be covered by the panels, right?
What we can, and that was determined by their usage and their utility and how much they're able to offset. So
sure.
In doing so, we went kind of went with the best places we could with the number of panels they were contracted for.
Right. Okay.
Okay, any further board questions or comments?
Sorry, I was muted. This is Andy. I said I have a technical question. So I understand you're putting panels on the front of the house, but I know the facing of this house well because it's in parallel with my house. And I believe that the panels, I mean, you can correct me, but my understanding is the panels in the front of the house really will not generate power during the winter because the low altitude of the sun, really only the back panels will have any kind of correct angle to the solar panels.
Correct, and there are certain factors that come into play, which is the reason of the size of the system. The size of their back roof is not large enough to house all of the panels needed for their offset.
Right. So I guess what I'm really saying to you is are they really getting value out of the panels in the front of their house? Because
yes,
at least
they
half
are.
the year, they're not going to get any energy out of them. And therefore they're paying for something that they're not going to get actual power out of.
Well, as technology advances with solar systems, you know, they're coming out with inverters that are, you know, you're starting to hit your peak hours sooner. So you're starting to produce more energy earlier in the day, rather with, if you use a larger inverter, you're going to start producing energy later in the morning as you would have posed. So depending on the orientation of the panels is certainly key and where they go, but as well to gain that offset, the panels in the front made it worth the customer, or made it worth it for the customer to go solar.
Okay,
We run what's called the TSRF report, and in order for the New York State credits to kick in, they have to hit above a 70% TSRF, and they wouldn't have, if they weren't getting those credits, they wouldn't be moving forward. So in the end, in a tax way and an environmental way, it is beneficial to the customer.
Good answer. Okay, any further
Okay.
questions, comments? And if not,
No.
are there other parties in the audience? Mr. Long?
Yeah, give me 1 second, Mr. Chair. Just 1 second. I just want to do something here. Yes, if there's anyone from the public who wishes to speak, please raise your hand at this time. And I only have one question, Mr. Chair, if I may. The tree that exists in the front of the house, is the tree going to remain?
Yes, there are no plans to remove that tree.
Okay.
So, and
That's
the
all, Mr.
position of the position of the panels on the front of the roof are furthest away from the shading of the tree. So we make sure that when we're building it out, we're not going to hit shade from that tree. We use a LiDAR technology that shows you, not precisely, but it's very close to where the shading will occur on your property.
yeah,
Fair enough. Mr. Chair, that's all. And there are no comments from the public.
Okay, any further comments from the board? Andrew, did you have another question?
no, I mean, I said I know this orientation quite well because it's in parallel with my house. But okay, I mean, if he says he's going to get power out of it, but
Okay, well, there being no further comments or questions, may I have a motion to vote?
I motion.
Second,
fine, I'll second it.
any opposed?
Mhm.
Okay, then you are approved, Mr.
Okay,
Stevens.
great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it, and have a good night.
Okay, thank
You
you.
too.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, I'm gonna, let's, it's getting close to time. Let's do one more and then let's take just a short, 5-minute break.
So, Mr. Chair, let's see. The next item, 151 Mamaroneck Avenue, they've asked to be moved further along on the agenda. So if you'd like to go to 712 Old White Plains Road.
Okay, so let me just understand, they still wish to go tonight, but later on.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, we can accommodate that. So then let's do 712 Old White Plains Road then.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. My name is Andrew.
Yes, we've seen you before, with the overall renovation, I believe, yes?
I don't think so.
No?
Village of Mamaroneck.
Well,
Oh, you're the sign guy.
Yep, I am the sign man.
Okay, the building itself has come before us.
Oh yeah, that is possible. Yeah. Sure.
you're going to
It's
share.
pronounced Mamaroneck, by the way.
It says I can't host or share the screen. It's disabled.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead, please.
Can everybody see this?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So our proposal is a sign. There's two main signs. This is the first one, which is facing the main street. And then there's a second sign that's facing the main parking lot. And then underneath it is a small black awning that'll go around the entire frontage of the building.
With no wording on it, correct?
No, yeah, no wording.
Mhm.
And this is a channel letter sign, and it'll be illuminated, but they'll be on a raceway, and the size should fit within regulation.
I think you mean they will fit within regulation,
No, yeah, they will.
right?
And this is what the proposed
Yeah.
finished drawing would look like.
Okay. Well, I have one question for you, if you could stick with that. It appears to me that the sign on the parking lot side is a good deal lower than the sign on the street side.
Oh, do you mean by like elevation wise or like height?
Height from the ground, yes.
Gotcha.
And my thinking is that they would look better, since you see them both at the same time, if they related to each other a little better.
Yeah,
And
I think that's
the
a
parking lot
rendering
should be a
issue.
tad higher.
I think that's more of a rendering issue with the final drawing, but because they are both at the same height. But I think when we were assembling the rendering, we didn't make it exactly even.
When you say the same height, do you mean at the bottom of the signs align or that
Third, or yeah,
that the midline of the signs align? I see that aligns. All right.
the bottom's along.
I think it's the height difference in the sign itself kind of makes it seem like it may be askew a little bit.
Well, it looks a little odd. Do you have elevations or just renderings?
Should line up.
Okay, yes. I was looking for elevations which showed the height off the street, okay?
Yeah.
That's it, really.
No, I do not have the elevation.
Yeah, it seems to me they kind of maybe should be, I don't know, centered. I don't know. It's a little hard to tell from this rendering how, but right now it just looks visually like the left one and the right one are kind of cockeyed.
Yeah.
See what I mean? The left one looks a
Right.
lot lower, whether it's an optical illusion or not. If you see them both at the same time, I think, well, if you look at them too, if you look at the one, and again, it maybe, I don't know if it's a rendering issue or not, because you don't have an elevation here, but the right side one is above the center line between the awning and the roof. The one on the parking lot side is below the center line between the awning and the roof.
Yeah, the big ones are what, 18 inches, and the other one is what, 12? No, let me see here.
Yeah, go back up.
Nine.
Oh, you want to go back?
9. Okay. So the big ones are, no, wait a minute, what is it? 24 inches. No, 18
No,
inches.
Yeah, the letters are 18 and the logo is
And 9. Okay. But the bottom should line up, the bottom of the letters.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
they will line up.
Okay.
Where does it say, where are you seeing that?
No, I don't see it. I'm asking. Yeah.
It's word
true.
of mouth.
Well, I'm saying it should. I think like it would look better.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm not sure if the bottom should line up or if it should be centered or if they should both be centered on their respective facades or,
Well, this is the one that's facing the parking lot is supposed to be centered between the door
No,
Yeah.
I meant up, top to bottom.
Top to bottom.
Yeah, but the top to bottom would also be aligned, like the bottom of this
Okay, well, you should-
sign would be aligned with the bottom of this.
No, I hear you saying that, but what I'm saying is the one on White Plains Road, Old White Plains Road, is
Yeah.
not centered between the roof and the awning. You see that? It's higher.
Oh, you're talking about from here to here. It's much higher than from the bottom.
Yeah. It's not
Gotcha.
centered. It's above that.
But
I think that's
Now, if you look at
because-
the one on the other side, it's the reverse is true.
But I think that's because they're trying to cover up this existing
Aha, now we
hole
get
right here.
the thick of it. Okay, so that should go there.
Yeah,
That
because they're
makes
trying to
perfect
cover that up.
Mm,
yeah, I
Okay.
think that you're trying to use that. You're trying to center the signage
Yeah.
within that band. Okay,
Okay.
that's what it
Yeah.
looks like. Yeah.
Okay,
but
now
that makes
band-
sense.
Okay, it's presumably a little bit on the high side. Okay, it looks like it is in that picture. Although with the awning there, maybe not so much. I think you maybe this may be rendering issues.
But
Yes,
the awning
exactly.
is supposed to be like right here, so it would look like the space in between here and here would be the same amount
Yeah.
with the awning
Yes.
covering this area right here.
I think by looking at that whatever you just drew there and looking at the brick courses, I believe that it's about 12 inches, and which is the height of the awning, I believe. So yeah, probably maybe it's just it looks like it's not centered, but most importantly, it should be centered in that band as well, because with those dot medallions at both ends as well, I think it should be centered there, which I believe is the intention of
Am I
the.
correct that there aren't actual elevation drawings?
No, there are not drawings.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there are drawings of the signage itself, but not, I agree, there are no heights or anything,
All right.
which should be, yeah.
All right. Well, this sign obviously needs to be centered on the medallions and the gray band. I think that's the intent.
Right.
So I'm more concerned now about the other sign, which could go anywhere.
Mhm.
And centered over the door is,
Well, it can't completely go anywhere because you have the awning still coming around.
Yeah.
now here in this drawing, it's higher. See, in this drawing, it is about the same height. It is centered kind of between the awning and the roof.
Mhm.
So it may be this rendering, but you can't see the two together, so it's a little hard. You have to count brick courses or something, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, even if it's modular brick, if it's a little bigger, then that's more complicated. But to calculate, I was just thinking about the size anyway. The other question I had for Andrew is these letters are going to be kind of floating, right? They are supported by this raceway behind
Yeah.
it, which
The
feeds them. Yeah.
raceway is right here. It's pretty much
Yeah.
a giant box. Yeah. So it would just the letters would sit right here. This is the letter, and then this is the raceway. It would just sit
Yeah.
flush on it.
Which is a continuous line behind all the letters. So
Mhm.
the letters kind of float. And what color is that channel?
Oh, the channel would be. We usually paint it the same color as the wall, so it's not noticeable.
Ah, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
got you. Okay. Yeah, that looks fine.
Mm, I see.
Okay.
All right. In terms of new entrance and everything, it's an improvement. I mean, you have that parking lot area. Its circulation is much better. I believe it improves the store.
Yeah. The store owner has already been here for approval for the overall store, but he wasn't prepared for the signs yet. And the signs look nice.
Yeah.
I just, it's hard to nail down where they are in space,
That's right. Yes. Well,
I agree. It is an improvement and it does look nice. Looking at the raceway looks like it's really sort of black and gray, right?
Are you talking, this
Well,
is the raceway?
I'm just talking about Yvonne asking that question, and it looks like it's on a black race.
Yeah.
Not to beat that one either. I mean, I do think it looks nice as long as the letters all end up being positioned where they need to be to maintain that
Yeah, so,
equality from front to side.
right, there's a couple of questions here that are not kind of answered, which is, you know, how high the two signs are above the ground or above the awning or down or something. Like, where are they height wise?
Yeah,
And, you know, and the raceway I heard you say would match the brick. I guess we could take that at face value.
Well, you had two colors, right? To match the brick and then to match the whatever plaster is there, and the main
The gray,
that band. Yeah,
brick on the left and it's gray plastic.
yeah.
Right.
yeah.
So we would just pretty much like try to pick a neutral earth tone color that'll just kind of be as close as possible.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So can we just get a stipulation that the one way or the other, that the letters at the bottom of the letters will align on both facades, or
Is
that,
that what you want, or do you want them?
or I was going to say, or that the center line of the letters align on both facades?
That's a good question.
Right. In other words,
What-
that the raceways align. Because
Well,
the
we,
raceways are the same size no matter what, both?
yeah, they're the same size no matter what.
Oh,
Not in terms
really?
of length, but in terms of height.
Oh, really? With the wait a minute. Oh, with the 9-inch letters, the raceway is the same size?
Yeah, the raceways are all 12 inches in height.
No,
No.
Oh, no, sorry.
no.
Sorry about
You're
that.
looking at the awning.
Yeah, but I'm looking at the awning. The raceway size.
It's got to look about 4 inches, 3.5 inches.
Yeah.
It looks like
4
6 or 6, no more than that. Because when you look at the section, the distance between the wall and the letter is 4 inches, and it seems that it's a little bit higher. It's almost like 6 or 7 inches or so.
Well, that wouldn't be compared to those letters that are only 9 inches or 12.
Yeah, the letters, the smallest ones at the parking lot
9.
size are 9 inches. So yeah, I could say about 6 inches in height for the raceway.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So that, why don't we just say the raceways should align?
Yeah.
All right.
That's
Yep.
Yeah,
Why
That's
don't we
fine.
just say that, right? The
that
raceways.
simplifies it.
And they should be painted to match the walls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
different color though. They need to be, yeah, exactly. That's a good.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can tell by the care you put into this that you want to do the right thing. It's just that the renderings and drawings, you kind of can't tell where it is.
Yeah, the elevation.
And it doesn't, yeah, an elevation would have been good. And it's a little hard to tell from this rendering, you know, where they are. They look like they're not in the right spots. So,
So,
okay. Store looks good.
Actually, I do have another question. So the raceway is as wide as the last letter?
Yes, because that's
Oh,
they
there
have
you
to
go.
sit flush. So each one ends where the last letter ends.
Mhm.
okay.
Interestingly, on the left, it lines up with the serif on the M, but on the right, it doesn't.
Well, that's because it's supposed to, we're trying to make it seem like it sits flush with
Perspective.
with
Oh.
the 3D
Perspective.
letter. It's not sticking
kind of
out, it's more of just sitting along the side
perspective.
of the M.
Okay.
In perspective.
So it's Yeah, right. So it's flush with the M. Okay.
Yeah, it's flush
yeah,
with the M.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Well, anyway, I think that
Okay.
it's all good. Any other questions, comments?
Nope.
Okay, any audience comments? Will, Long, Mr. Long?
Is anyone from the public wishes to speak? Raise your hand. And I don't see any, Mr. Chair.
Okay, then I think could someone offer a motion to vote?
Wallowitz.
Okay, follow it's in there. Okay, second, please. Nobody's seconding you.
I second.
Okay,
Really
good.
I was
Any
scared.
opposed? Okay, all right, you're good then, Andrew, thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Have a good night.
Thank you.
And we will stipulate, though, that the raceways align and are painted to match the wall.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, and with that, I am going to suggest a 5-minute break, get a glass of water, go to the bathroom, whatever, and we'll reconvene in just 5 minutes, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
No one's back yet. Oh. I never muted. Hi, everyone.
Aye.
Hello.
Okay, so I guess we're just waiting for Barbara. I can't tell if,
I'm here.
okay, and I can't tell if,
Yeah, I'm here.
okay, and we're all here. And so we can resume, I suppose. I don't know if it's been, I guess it's been 5 minutes. Okay, is 1540 Raleigh Road applicant here? Mike Butcher, I guess.
Is anyone, if anyone here is here from for 1540, please raise your hand. Mr. Chair, you can move on, and we'll come back to that.
Okay. Okay, it's possible he was just taking a break as well and hasn't quite made it back.
Tell you, he never sent me the sign affidavit, which I was supposed to get yesterday by 3. So I emailed him after 3 yesterday and said, you didn't send me the sign affidavit, and he didn't reply. So I emailed him again today and said, you still didn't send me the sign affidavit, and he never replied. And that's very unlike him. So I'm assuming something happened.
Is this, who are you talking about?
1540 Raleigh.
Which one?
And now he's not here. So I think something happened.
Well, you think this is by the sign, you mean the sign,
The notification sign that they have to put on the property.
so you think maybe he didn't do that?
Maybe.
Oh, I see.
Or something serious happened because he didn't answer 2 emails, and that's not like him.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Oh.
So, Mr. Chair, if you like, staff can send them a letter tomorrow and indicate that they should appear before the next board meeting.
Yeah, okay. There isn't, I can't see who's in the audience. There's no one there named.
No, there's no one. No one from me.
Okay, well, I don't know what's happened, but I guess if he comes later, we can accommodate him. If not, like you say, Barbara, I hope everything's okay. And we'll move on then to 1064 Bayhead.
If anyone is here for 1064, please raise your hand.
Name is James.
Hi, good evening, everybody. Can you guys hear me?
Good, there's James. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. Okay, so my name is James. I work with Dominion Expediting. We work closely with the solar company representing the homeowner on this application. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen if I have that ability, and I will go through what we are proposing here. Let's see. Okay. All right, so this application is for residential solar panel array on the rooftop of 1064 Bayhead Drive. The array will consist of 43 panels with a rating of 15.05 kilowatts. You can see here, this is the site plan that we have developed for this project. So One very important note, and it will be also indicated in the photos as I scroll down. This property does have a flat roof. So all the panels are, aligned like this. So I know generally, you like to see things very symmetrical. But in this case, the panels are not viewable from the street. So I'll just go through here. The plan, so this is just about the mounting system that's being used. Electrical diagram, again, the orientation of the panels. These are the panels being used, the LG 350Ws. It's just cut sheets for them, inverters, and again, these are the mounting brackets being used. All right, so this is the subject property. It's the front of the house. You can see, again, the flat roof, obviously, you can't see the roof at all from the street. So I'll just go through the other photos of the property. This is the left side of the house. This is the right side of the property looking towards the street from the backyard. This is the rear view from the backyard. And moving on to the neighbors' homes, this is the neighbor on the right-hand side of the subject property from the street. And you can see there's a lot of tree coverage here between the subject property and the neighbor's home. And this is the neighbor to the left. And again, they have pretty significant tree coverage here. This is a view directly across the street from the subject property. Just wanted to display that there isn't a home directly across from them. There's just some woods there. And then when you go down the street a little bit, this house is across the street, a little bit further to the right. And this is just a closer up of the aerial view. So the subject property is here. Again, just referencing there's no property directly in front. This is the photo I did just show you. So yeah, that's pretty much it. It's a pretty straightforward application. No real aesthetic impact here because of the flat roof, which is definitely a plus for the homeowner because we know, they're concerned about the aesthetics as well. Especially, the homes on this block are very, very beautiful. So they definitely wanted to keep that in mind. So yeah, just looking to move forward. If you have any questions, just let me know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Mr. Long may have his usual question.
Yeah, I have one question. Were any trees removed as a part of this application?
No.
Okay. That's it for me, Mr. Chair.
And
Yeah.
any other
James.
comments,
Yes.
questions from the board?
Yes, that it's flat. Now are the panels flat? I mean, how much do they project or from the roof actually? What's the space? I never saw a section or anything. I mean, they're not going to be visible, right?
Right. No, they're not going to be visible. I'll go back up to the brackets on this
Okay.
sheet here.
Okay.
From the
Okay.
street, it's 3 inches,
4
3
inches,
and 5
yeah.
eighths of an inch off the roof.
Okay. And the parapet is higher than that.
I don't have the actual dimension. I apologize for that. But I know it is greater than
Okay.
greater than that. So
Yeah.
yeah, you can't see that from the
Okay. Yeah.
Any other board questions or comments?
I think it's the perfect home to support these solar panels.
Yeah.
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 Exactly.
Looks like a good application for
A
them.
good fit, right?
Now, I do have a question, just technical question. Is it better? I mean, is it more efficient if it's flat or if it's an angle from just from a?
Well, I think mainly that depends. I don't really focus or I don't really do the studies. There's a representative from the solar company who does those, but from what he's told me is, depending on the orientation of the roof, sometimes it is better to have them angled, in a certain direction. But in this case, they have very good sun coverage, throughout the day. So
yeah,
it works out well for them having the flat roof.
Yeah. Okay.
Any interested parties in the audience?
1 second. If anybody's interested, Mr. Chair, I don't see anyone as being interested.
Okay. And any further questions, comments from the board? We've set there.
I motion.
Pardon me, you motion, okay. May I have a second?
Okay.
Okay, any opposed?
No.
Okay, very good. Looks good then. We're able to proceed. James?
All right, great. Thank you all so much. Hope you have a great evening.
Okay.
You
Thank
too,
you.
James.
Thank you.
Okay, now is 151 Mamaroneck Avenue ready to go now?
Yes, Mr. Chair.
Okay,
I'm bringing him in. Okay.
Hmm.
Mr. Jones, unmute yourself.
I'm Mrs. Jones and I'm here.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay. How is everyone doing tonight?
Good, thank you.
Thank you for letting me come in later. I'm sorry.
no problem.
Fine.
So we will be presenting CKO kickboxing going into 151. Do you guys want me to share my screen?
Sounds good.
Yes, please.
Share screen. Okay. So we will be doing a push-through light box, 30 inches overall height. We're kind of fitting it into the little architecture of the building. As you can see in the lower images, it shows that there's a build out with some decorative blocking or architectural, I don't know what it's really called, but
Moldings or
like a molding, yeah, like a molding. So we're basically fitting our sign in that panel to kind of hide all aspects of that panel. The
Okay.
box is 6.5 inches in depth, and it's going to be built out an inch because we have to accommodate the molding that's going around.
Mhm.
Letters for the C are, as you can see, are 11.8 inches. Your kickboxing is at 6 inches, and your overall logo size, height-wise, is 24.6.
Mhm.
Any questions?
Yeah, this is well, for two questions. First of all, we're only talking about the sign over the door, right? There's no
Yes.
warnings or-
Yep. Mhm.
Okay, good. And the last time there was a question because the person who spoke had brought a sample, and the sample was a radically different color than the sign in the rendering. So is this, I mean, relative, taking into account they all have different screens and it may look a little different to all of us.
I mean, this is this is going to be a true match to a
Orangey yellow. Pardon me?
This is
Go
going to
ahead,
be a
Jane.
true match to PMS 123C. I can get a sample over to people if they would need it. But if you guys have access to a PMS color book, we're going to match that's their specific brand color that they've done at their other locations, which we did the signs there as well.
Just to tell you how nerdy I am, I actually did look up that on a color color.
I love it.
Good for you.
Great.
I was more asking for the benefit of everyone else.
Yes. If anyone's driven down Central Avenue, I'm sure you've seen the other location by Nathan's.
Yeah.
It's set back behind the Dunkin' Donuts and Baskin Robbins area. Same owners, same franchise.
The background is black, is it, or brown?
Yes, it's black.
Black, right?
Yes.
Okay. And so the yellow is what color? What is the color you said it was?
It says right here, PMS 123C. It's
PMS?
a Pantone. It's a Pantone match.
Pantone.
Matching system.
Okay.
120.
Yeah. Matching system. The number again? I'm sorry.
123C.
One,
It
two,
does
three,
on the
C.
upper left-hand corner of this submission.
Okay. Oh, yeah, right there.
Yeah. I tried to point it, but I don't know what you guys see and what you guys don't see as far as.
It does
Got
look
it.
like this. It is a yellowish orange.
Got it, got it.
A hair oranger than a taxi cab.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Can I ask a different kind of question?
Sure. I hope I can answer it.
Yeah, so what floor is this business on?
Oh, that's a good question, actually.
Because I'm just curious, it is just thinking about the future of this building, which is the renovation of my old friend's building. This used to be Chatsworth, correct? Right, this is Chatsworth and Sam's, well, anyway, the old owner is a good friend of mine, but I know how they renovated this building, right? So, I mean, there's that stairway there and it goes up to the 3 floors. And I'm just curious because if this is all commercial, where are the other signs going to go?
That's a good question. Let me see if I have, bear with me one moment.
I'm not sure if this is like, you know what I'm saying, for the rest of the board?
I do. It is a good question.
I'm not sure whether that's going to be residential above. but
Does this door only go to the kickboxing business had some window signs, temporary window signs up, but I can't remember if they were on both floors or one floor.
Because I mean, if it's the whole building, it makes sense. But if it's the ground floor, it seems like an odd place for the sign, particularly if there's residential above. And if it's, I don't know. I just think we should think.
That's a good question.
It is a very good question.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so if I Google the address, CKO Kickboxing comes in as a second floor tenant. When I Google CKO Kickboxing in Mamaroneck, it says it is on the second floor. If that helps anyone or any questions, I don't know what is going in on the first floor, nor is it unknown what's going in on the third if they're not taking.
And I assume we don't know what this door goes to. I assume you go in and there's a stair and
I'm assuming there's a stairwell that splits. Yeah, is what I'm assuming.
It possibly also goes to the 3rd floor.
Well, the 3rd floor tenant's out of luck when they come along.
Yeah.
As is the ground floor.
Well, couldn't you go over the glass?
I think behind the van on the left, there's a door.
There's another one.
So there's a door into the ground floor. So the ground
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
ground floor can put
There are
a
two
sign
there.
in the same location as the kickboxing one.
On the opposite side over
Yeah.
here.
The 3rd floor, I don't know what he does. Are you sure, Ms. Gordon, if I'm sorry, whatever, I forgot your name.
Miss Jones, Jamie's fine. You don't call me Miss
okay.
Jones.
Are you sure he's not a 2-floor tenant?
I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, all I did was go on CKO Kickboxing's website and it said second floor. I can verify that with them and get back to you guys. But literally all it says is second floor.
This would be a good question, not so much for the owner of this business who is, this seems fine to me, but the building owner,
right,
seems to me should be at least a little concerned about, what he's going to do about signage if he wants to get a 3rd floor tenant.
Yeah, that's a good question.
If he comes back to us wanting to put something in the window, I don't know that we'd be so amenable to that, but I don't think that's an issue for the kickboxing folk, but
yeah, I mean, he obviously he did see renderings. He signed off on the application. Again, unfortunately I do not know the status of the other tenants at this time.
Right, there would be nowhere for a 3rd floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can put it in the window and, I guess maybe there's some way you could put something in the middle there, but I don't know. We'd have to see. Anyway, okay. But as far as the kickboxing business goes, we can't tell them he can't have a sign because we don't know where the building owner.
You can't go in until we have all of the tenants accounted
You have
for.
to wait.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I guess I don't know, like, I'm just thinking about where, when there's a tenant in the ground floor, like
Yeah.
where, I'm just thinking about how all that's gonna come out, like where would their sign be?
Well, their sign could essentially go over here, no? If their entrance is here,
I mean, yes, they could. It just seems like that's sort of contrary to what the architecture of the building is, but
Yeah, well, it'd be over the door though, so it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's things you could do, but it is something one kind of wishes the owner of the building had been here to explain the overall plan. He's not. So we have to take it one at a time, but, it does put him at risk. I mean, we can't be cluttering up this whole building. It's a nice building with signs all over the place.
yeah, I know.
Well, that said, even considering the architecture of the building, I mean, what else are you going to do? I mean, the kickboxing business or whoever's on the second floor, I mean, this is not an unreasonable sign,
No, I understand that. I understand that. I'm just trying to think
Yeah.
ahead about
Yeah.
when the next person comes and they're gonna get turned down because it doesn't match with this sign, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, that's-
So,
there would have been, that's an architectural consideration for the building that, other buildings have come and said, this is our sign plan for the building. This fellow has not done that. So there is, I think, some risk that he'll come back with signs that aren't not going to be great. So it's a little bit,
Where was the Chatsworth sign when it was Chatsworth? I can't
well, it didn't
remember.
look like this at all. They completely took off the whole facade of the building.
Mm,
And it used to just be windows all the way across, and there was only one entrance right in the middle, right, with showcase windows with furniture. Then the staircase was a staircase internal to the building.
I mean, I went in there so many times in my life and now I can't remember.
Is
Yeah,
it, this is where the
What's
the
that?
antique store was?
Yes,
Mhm.
yeah, the estate
Yeah.
sales store.
Yeah.
okay.
But the staircase was internal to the structure.
Well, I think we have to
Yeah, I think
move on because
Okay.
we can't really
we have to
control.
play the hand that's dealt.
this.
So, I don't know, any
Yeah.
further board comments here?
No.
Any interested participants in the audience?
I have just something to say because
I'm
it
asking about the
bothers me a
audience.
little bit.
We'll get back to you. We're asking about the
It
audience.
bothers I keep looking at the facade, the elevation, and just the colors of the facade and the signage just doesn't click for me. I think it's a little bit not working together, but that's in my opinion. I just had to say it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You just went on record, you know that, right? Or you
The
have?
yellow sort of, is a little
Yeah.
discordant with the.
Yes,
brown,
with the
right?
other creamy color and
Yeah.
the taupe, a taupe or something.
I see what you mean, but it doesn't bother me.
And it's
Yeah,
their,
I know.
it's
I don't know
their
if they'd have to
branded
change the
color.
logo or if you
so,
should paint the
If it's
facade
their
anyway.
branded color, it's their branded color. Okay.
Yeah,
I understand.
Yeah, like.
but
just
we're
had to
glad,
say
we're
it.
glad you mentioned it. But I think
It
it's
is an
okay
interesting thing with
and
logos, like AT&T shows up with their blue logo and they want to put it on a pink building. You say, well, I'm sorry.
I know. I know. Yeah, I just needed to express myself. I couldn't keep it anymore.
Get them to paint the
Understood.
building Barrington Green like my house.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
right.
Any further board questions?
No.
And well, I assume there's nobody else in the audience interested to participate. Mr. Long?
Oh, is Will gone?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I didn't know
Ah,
you.
okay.
There's no one else in the audience, Mr. Chair.
Okay. All right. So in that case, I think we are done with the applications.
I motion, we didn't,
Whoa.
1540 Valley Road.
At the vote,
Here.
No.
we forgot to motion, right?
Bill,
Yeah, oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Motion and all that.
All right, we got so caught up in all the exciting stuff. All right, is there,
Poor
can I
Jamie.
get a motion?
It's okay, it's
I
okay.
motion.
And a second, please?
I thought Andrew second.
I second it.
Oh, okay. I think
And
I
is
saw
there
you.
Anyone opposed? Okay, in that case, I think, happy kickboxing.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Stay
Yeah.
safe
Good
out
luck.
there. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay.
I think, I think it is a shame that the architect for the building really did not take into account, what the future of the commercial spaces would be and how they would be able to advertise themselves on the front of the building.
I think it was an excellent point, actually, yeah. I don't know what we could do about it, but.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it's possible
right.
the third floor is going to be residential,
That could be a loud place
Doesn't
to
look like
live.
it with that big
Yeah.
window, does it?
It says kickboxing below.
Right.
I don't know.
Below is better than above you.
No, but excellent comment, Andrew. I mean,
Yeah.
They're gonna come with some sign band that goes in the window or on the shingle facade, the side and facade to the right of it or something. But
yeah.
we'll have to cross that bridge when we get to
I should have taken a screenshot though and sent it to Sam. No.
it.
I don't know if any of you know Sam, but
No.
that was a family business for like 50 years, Chatsworth.
Mm.
Oh,
Oh,
I have some of those pieces.
Yeah, you do.
I mean, it always changed. There was always a good find in there.
Yeah.
All right, so
We
Did our-
did, but we sold all that and now we're like buying kind of fancy stuff from Knoll,
Ah.
Okay. So.
All right, so
Raleigh Road, did they come back?
they did
No,
not. So if you like, staff will send them a letter indicating that they should appear at your next board meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And
Okay.
if they're not at your next board meeting, then they will, if the board would like them, they would then their application will come null and void.
Okay.
All right.
But we'll send them a letter. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That sounds good, to give them a chance in case something has happened to them. But,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, and now, I never know if I should call you Will or Mr. Long or Mr. Table or Village Planner or,
Whatever makes you happy, Mr. Chair. So, Mr. Chair, so where we are now is there's a discussion on the floor about a proposed tree ordinance. The Village Board of Trustees is seeking to amend the tree ordinance that exists. Planning staff has sent the board some comments in terms of like some definitions that planning staff feels should be added, and just renumbering the overall code to make sure that if there are any future amendments, they can be incorporated a little easier than if it was numbered continuously. And was there anything else? And I think the other thing was just adding like I can't even pronounce the word, severability clause.
Yeah, I thought somebody
But
did
go ahead.
a severability clause to it in the draft that was circulated. I thought I saw there was one, but,
That's because planning staff put it in.
okay, there you go.
That's the reason. Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. So unless does anyone else have any comments? Does the board have any comments?
I had that one question that you and I had talked about, if you recall, that the penalty, well, there's, just for everybody's benefit, there's removal of a tree, and then there's also perhaps a little bit more maliciously that you could damage a tree such that it dies within a 2-year time frame, which is they call injuring a tree. And then when they get to the penalty section, there are penalties if you remove a tree that are fairly significant. and there are very minor penalties for everything else, including injuring the tree. So, you know, it opens up the door to, you know, injure a tree, and then 2 years later, the tree's gone, and you only have to pay a small fine, and then you got rid of the tree.
All right, so staff is making a note of that. The penalty for injuring a tree is not sufficient.
Doesn't seem to be, it seems to be a loophole that you could get rid of a tree by, you know, girding it and waiting, you know, 2 years.
Got it.
Yeah.
Anything else? I know staff, I'm not sure if the board remembers, but planning staff did provide the board with some comments or a draft comment letter. Did you all receive that?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess it's nice to put it in front of me right now, but I did have a syntax or use of the English language question about the document.
It was written by lawyers. They speak a different language than
Yeah, it seemed to me it was written by male lawyers, because it seems, if I recall, they talk about the tree at breast height, which is 5
right.
feet, which was 5 feet, which is clearly the breast height of a man. And it just seems to me it should be 5 feet. Like,
It's a very old-fashioned term.
reference that it is from a male's perspective about where you measure the tree.
Well, you know,
fair enough.
One does wonder why it's not just 5 feet, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly written by a man, right?
Or
Or a tall
You're a
woman,
very tall woman.
or a more than average height woman. So, I mean, I work in a socially just type of environment, and those kind of things we just try to eliminate all the time. So,
Oh,
Okay.
That's
So
good.
when was that ordinance first written? What year? I don't remember seeing that. I did read it some time ago,
I
though.
think it was just written, but I think it was probably cribbed and paraphrased from something else.
No, but
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
probably
I'm
was,
saying
yeah.
it was taken from some very old, from a long time ago,
yes, from people
Yeah.
who cut trees who are all men, right?
from Old English.
So, Mr. Staff, can you note Andrew's comment there?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know,
Absolutely.
if we're going to try to purge,
Yeah.
you know, Mamaroneck Village of,
Yeah. It also sounds funny to say it breast height. I don't know. What does that mean? What is
Yeah.
it exactly? Okay.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, but yeah, but staff will make a note of it. My understanding is that's just the measurement of how they measure trees. The other way is the caliper. So
Oh, yeah.
no,
No,
I'm
that's
saying,
it.
but
He's
that's
just
the height
saying
at which
that
they measure the
you have to
diameter.
call it breast height, you know, at 5, and say it's 5 feet, which obviously, you know, it's, some people are shorter, some people, why even go?
Right.
Why not just say it's 5, not 5 feet?
Right, just 5 feet, exactly.
fair enough.
Yes,
Clearly, it is steeped in tradition.
yes.
Like from the 1700s or something, I think.
Mm-hmm. Or the year Mamaroneck was founded, wasn't that in the 1600s?
1600s, yeah.
Remember that cemetery over by your former home, Bill?
Over by, yes, yeah, right by it, backyard. Okay.
All right. So does the board want to take a vote on sending over comments, or how does the board want to handle this?
I think, can we send them over? Do we need to vote on them? I mean, they're just comments for consideration, you know, I would say.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough.
You know, they're not-
Um,
I mean, the recommendations, if they want to do it, you know, it's not like we're insisting on it, you know.
fair enough. No problem. So that's that, Mr. Chair, and I think that concludes pretty much everything that's on the agenda. So now we're kind of, if you will, in a work session, and if the board would like, we can begin to go through the questions as it relates to codifying the board's rules and procedures.
Okay.
Does everyone have?
Not that it's getting late, so, and we, you know, because we had planned to do this when we had a short agenda. As it turned out, we had a longer agenda because we got a couple lumped together because of the previous storm. So I think it would be fair to see what everybody's situation is and how long people are able or willing to hang on, or if we should postpone it to another.
Do we know from Barbara what our next agenda is like?
Right now, I have one sign application. And if this guy from Raleigh Road who didn't show up, shows up. But tomorrow's the deadline to drop off. I could get nothing. I could get 5 applications. I'll know for sure on Monday.
But one thing is that this time was real busy because of the storm.
Right, this was a
And
double.
yeah, and we have old business and new business. And to me, if we can put, I mean, we will be a little bit more refreshed if we can move it
Fair
to
enough.
a shorter version
Not to
to
put you off,
discuss this.
Will, but you could see by the last couple of applications, we were getting a little silly.
No, I get it. I mean, listen,
Little
I understand. I understand. So how about this? If your next board, like Barbara said, we should know how many applications will be on the next board on the next board agenda by Monday. If it's not long, then we'll put it on. If it is long, then we will look at, if the board is comfortable, we could look at having like a special meeting just to deal with this.
I think that's
Plus,
a
it would
better
be
solution.
nice to have Athena here for the meeting also,
Yeah.
I think, right?
Fair enough.
Yes,
Here.
yes.
And I think, yeah, if it has to be a special one, I think at least you'll have people who are fresh and thoughtful and not people who are just, you know, we've gotten a little punch drunk here, I think, you know.
Fair enough. No problem. No problem.
Okay.
That was not
Okay.
even intended because it was a kickboxing thing, but, you know.
Oh.
No problem. All
Okay.
right. So with that, Mr. Chair, that concludes all business.
Okay, thank you all.
And
Thank you.
Motion.
if you'd like to,
Adjourn.
Yes.
Okay.
Have a
Okay. Good night,
Bye.
everyone.
Nice
Good
to
night.
see everyone.
All right,
Thank you, William.
Bye.
okay,
Take
bye.
okay, have a good night.
Bye.
Good night. Good night.